Hi guys, I hope you guys had a really great Easter weekend. So today I decided to make one of my favorite snacks. This is called coconut buns, Guyanese coconut buns, and I'm going to show you how I do that. These are so great that even my husband, who hates coconut in anything he eats, fell in love with these. So I'll show you this really simple, really quick recipe. So for this recipe, you'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I already sifted and measured my flour. You'll need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and this is the brand that I use. So we'll need 1 teaspoon of that. You'll need 2 eggs. You'll need a cup of grated coconut. Now for my grated coconut, I just buy the regular coconut from the store. And what I do is I have my husband break it up for me. And then I cut this up into pieces. And what I find works really well for me, I hate grating coconut. So my mom taught me this trick where I just chip the coconut pieces up and then I place it in my blender with a little bit of water and it gives me this. And I just blend that until it gets to, you know, the consistency that I want it to. So then I just squeeze out the excess water because like I said, you just pour some water in your blender with the chipped pieces of coconut. And this is what you'll get. So I just squeeze the excess water out of it because I don't want this too wet. Because if this is too wet, your dough will be extremely wet and we don't want that. So yes, we need 1 cup of coconut, grated coconut. We'll need a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Now you can use brown sugar, white sugar. You can use light baking sugar. Anyone works. We'll need a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract or almond essence. I use this one. I think it's so great. And of course, it says it's Guyanese pride. So anything from back home, I just love to get it if I can. So I'm going to need a 1/4 teaspoon of my almond essence. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of vanilla. Now, this is the vanilla I use for my cakes. Anything that I bake, I use this vanilla and it works pretty well. And it doesn't break the bank, which is really good. So I'll need about a teaspoon of that. And I'll need a 1/2 cup of butter. This is the butter that I use, but you can get any butter from the store. Any salted butter is fine. So we'll just need a 1/2 cup of that. So to start, we'll add the baking powder to the flour. And then what I will do, I will just mix that around. You can whisk this in, that's fine. But I didn't take my whisk out, so I'll just do that. We'll do that, and then we'll dump the butter in here. I'll just dump this out with my hand. We'll do the 1/2 cup of butter, and I will just mix this around until this becomes like kind of like breadcrumbs again. I'm just trying to get that all melted in there. So in here, guys, once again, I have a teaspoon of baking powder, 2 cups of flour, and 1/2 cup of salted butter. And I'm just going to gently cut this in my flour just until there's no like really big clumps. And then I'm going to add in my grated coconut. Just mix that around. And for this recipe, I will be using 1/2 cup of raisins. And this is the raisins I use. I find that it's really good. So this is the one that I use. So we'll need 1/2 cup of this. And I'm just gonna pour it over here because it doesn't matter how much I get. And I'm just gonna put that in there, mix that around, and I'm gonna set this to the side, and then we're gonna mix our wet ingredients. And I'll be right back. Guys, so I'm back. So now we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar to my dry ingredients. I'm just gonna dump that in there. So hi guys, yes. So now I cracked my 2 eggs. So I have 2 eggs in here. I'm going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. I'll need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I always put just a little tad more because I like it a little sweet. And I am just going to whisk these together. Okay, and then I am going to pour this liquid into my dry ingredients. And it is as simple as that. That's all of our ingredients that we'll need to make these really delicious. They're so delicious. And they are definitely a favorite in my household. And it's so simple and so easy to make. It has a nice little crunch at the top, and then it gets softer on the inside. So we're just gonna mix this together until it all comes together and form like a kind of like a wet dough. So you don't need to add anything else here, guys. You just need to mix this together. Get all that egg to combine in there. You don't need to use your hands. You'll just take a spoon. Get all the dry ingredients mixed in with the egg. And once we're finished mixing all of this in, you'll see how nice this looks. And these are so delicious, guys. Like I said, it has like a nice little crunch on the outside, and it's so nice and soft and delicate on the inside. You'll see what I mean once you guys try this recipe. This recipe is so easy, and it takes less than an hour to make. There's no setting to the side, waiting for this to rise or anything like that. This is just it. We're just mixing in all of those delicious flavors into there, trying to get all that dry ingredients mixed in so that everything is combined with the flour, so the eggs get really mixed in there, guys. This is, like I said, this is really simple. I like to make this every week because of my husband's job. I try to give him a snack every week. So this is one of the snacks that I enjoy making for him because, like I said, it's so simple, it's so fast, it's so easy to do. So yeah, that's it, guys. There goes that dough. That's all we need. And now we're going to scoop this onto a cookie sheet, and I'll show you what I do there. So I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And now I'm just going to scoop these out as big as I may like them. I'm just going to use a kitchen spoon, and I'm just going to scoop this out with the spoon. And I'm just going to add it onto my cookie sheet that I already buttered, as you guys can see, just so it doesn't stick to the pan. All I did was baste it with a little bit of butter, and that's it. And I'm just scooping these out. And like I said, they're coconut buns, so they don't have to be perfect. They're fine just the way they are. You should get about 8 out of this. It all depends on what size you want. Sometimes I only get 6. Because sometimes I make them really big. So like I said, it all depends on the size, and these smell so good, guys. That almond extract, like you can smell the essence. That essence is so good. The Guyanese Pride almond essence is really, really nice. So it gives that a nice kick to these buns, and it smells delightful in your kitchen. Now we have that vanilla extract with those coconut, that grated coconut with all the sugar and the flour. These smell amazing. Now you can use, just like the crossbuns, you can use any kind of fruit you want. I think this will be perfect. You can use cherries, you can use currants, like it's your preference, or you can just not use any fruit at all. Again, that's your preference. So that's it, guys. So now what I like to do, this is my own personal touch. You can skip this part. I like to just sprinkle a little bit of granulated white sugar on top of them before I put them in the oven. It just adds a touch more of sweetness to the buns. Like I said, you don't have to do this step. I just enjoy doing this because I enjoy tasting that granulated sugar with that nice soft buns. That's just my personal favorite. So yeah, guys, that's it. So now we're gonna pop these babies in the oven for 25 minutes at 350 degrees or until they become golden brown. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you try this soon. Thank you.